Evans Mensah is in the studio with me. Like I said, in a few hours, they will be talking about the Office of the Special Prosecutor big time. And you know how he does it on Ghana Connect. Evans, it's good to have you.
Good to be here.
What about the Office of the Special Prosecutor are you discussing tonight?
So we are asking a simple question. Is it a democratic necessity or a needless duplication? Okay. And I noticed from the discussions, the public consultations have been going on this week. It appears to be at the heart of the debate.
Right.
There is one group who say we don't need it because we have a SHRAJ already.
And other
agencies in place. You have a SHRAJ, you have a YOCO, we have police, we have the Attorney General's Department. I mean, we are spoiled for choice when it comes to institutions to prosecute and investigate corruption. Right. The CID, the BNI,
Auditor General,
the
list goes on and
on and on and on. And so, why do you need another institution to duplicate all the institutions that we have already?
Right.
That's been a central question for those on the other side. And then there's a flip side of the other group who say this is absolutely an important part of growing democracy, and that we need it. But even among that group, there are those who say we need it, but not in the way it's been crafted, you know, in the bill. And so, we want to put those together and have a conversation. Those who are opposed to it and those who are for it, and so we can sort of flesh it out a bit. But most importantly, because the consultations have opened, not every Ghanaian can go to Parliament and contribute. Certainly. Not every Ghanaian has what it takes to sit in your room and write a memorandum, whatever it is, and send it to Parliament.
True.
But many more Ghanaians than usual will have access to a phone, who can send a text, who can go onto Facebook, who can send us a WhatsApp, and that way they get their voices heard. And that's why tonight we are bringing, I guess, the two principal actors in Parliament
who are they?
Whose committees are going to be looking into this. That's the chair of the Constitutional Legal Affairs Committee in Parliament. They are supervising and coordinating the consultations. And then we have the ranking member on that committee. So the two on both sides of the political divide are going to be in a studio. Okay. And remember that once the consultations are done, these two gentlemen then go into a room with the rest of the committee members and then sort of debate and decide which of the things they've had in the consultations should go into final document that they approve for Parliament to consider, essentially.
Great.
And so that is important. So we're going to have them in the studio. And then we're obviously going to have civil society guys represented sort of in the middle,
right?
You know, sort of to provide a check, because, you know, depending on which political side you are, it might influence the way you view the Office of the Special Prosecutor. So that's what we are going to do, essentially.
Okay. And
give a platform for people to participate in the consultation.
This has been a theme that has run through a lot of our bulletins, not just this week, but over the months. And of course, it was a serious part of the election campaign as well. Why is it such a big deal?
It is such a big deal. Well, if you are a member of the NPP, it's a big deal. Because the argument that Nana Akufo-Addo had made in the past, for which reason they proposed this, is often, mainly, the fight against corruption has been politicized. So the politicization itself has become a debilitating factor in political actors taking the hard, tough decisions to prosecute. So even if there's a genuine case to prosecute, once you start, they say you're witch hunting because the guy is your political opponent. So Nando's argument is, I want somebody in there, an independent person, who will prosecute, and then you blame the person. In other words, you can't come to me and say, I'm witch hunting. If this individual decides to prosecute, that is his business. Then he sort of removes himself and the political apparatus.
The interesting part is the thin line. It's like the thin line between love and hatred. It's a thin line between saying, I'm going to take a back seat and let you do your work, and the fact that I am the one who's going to appoint you in the first place. But I'm sure those are some of the areas that
is an important point. I mean, so the bill as it stands requires that the special prosecutor is appointed by the president. I mean, so that is going to be one of the things we'll talk about. I saw something in the bill this afternoon whilst I was preparing, and that also struck me, that in terms of funding, they also be funded through donations. And
from who?
That's a question, right?
Okay, all right.
And so we'll be interrogating that on Ghana Connect, definitely.
Donations, which means that maybe I can donate as well. Well, if I donate and I am involved in some kind of corrupt deal, how are you going to investigate me?
Absolutely.
Evans, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to that particular discussion. Evans Mensah is head of our political desk, but today he'll be hosting that very interesting discussion.